Hi beautiful, Christine here. This video is for you and it is a must watch if you are a woman or a man for that matter who's been going through a lot of changes lately. You've experienced a lot of personal transformation and growth. You've been investing your time in self-discovery. You've basically been on a journey of expansion, of learning more about yourself, and it's kind of a cliche term, but if we had to call it something, we could say you've been going through and are still going through a spiritual awakening. Now, this is an amazing time of someone's life. It suddenly feels like the rose-tinted glasses come off and you see everything so much different than you used to, but it can also be a challenging time and perhaps even in certain phases of it, a lonely time. So you've probably heard the saying, your vibe attracts your tribe. So you've done all these changes, you're operating at a new platform, you see things differently, you feel things differently, but at the same time, you almost feel, well, where is everybody like me? Where are they? Where are the other women who are thinking this way and feeling this way and learning about this and curious about that and had this happen to them? Where are they? Is it just me? Am I the weirdo? Is something wrong with me? Am I losing my mind? What's going on here? Because in those initial phases of change, usually, I'm going to say 9 out of 10 times, your tribe hasn't shown up yet because you've been surrounding yourself with one group of people for probably many years, but you're now the outsider. It was you who started going through these changes, this spiritual awakening, and you no longer feel like you identify and relate to who you've been spending time with the way you used to. And this isn't just friends, this can be your family members, this can be a relationship, a partner as well. And that experience, suddenly feeling like you're an outsider looking in and that you no longer experience that level of deep or rich connection that you crave, it can feel isolating, it can feel lonely. That's the truth of it. But here's the thing, think about a caterpillar. Think about what it has to do before it turns into a butterfly. It doesn't get to hang out with all the other caterpillars while it's becoming a butterfly. It has to go within, by itself, into its little cocoon. It needs to marinate. And you might be thinking, well, Christine, I've been marinating. I've been in my cocoon for like a year, and I'm still not feeling that new tribe. Where's my new tribe? It's been a year. And I've been there. I felt that way. I went through a spiritual awakening, and I mean, it's once you start going through it, you're always going to be going through it. There's layers, always unraveling. But for a while there, I felt like I almost wanted to slow down the rate of my awakening because I felt like if I kept going with it, I was going to change so much that I would lose everyone and everything I could relate to, and that would feel even more lonely, more isolating, right? And I'm glad I didn't allow my ego to convince me of that, because the truth of the matter is, yes, my tribe hadn't arrived yet, but I truly needed to keep growing and keep expanding and keep following these little nudges of go here, do this, read this, learn about that, take that course, everything that was enhancing my journey of self-discovery and expansion so that I could really integrate and assimilate into my body, my being, my mind, my psyche, these new changes. And so if you think about it, if you've always been kind of vibrating here and your level of consciousness here and your crew has been here and you suddenly start going up like this, if you meet women along the way, let's say possible friends, but they don't really stick and they don't become that new like solid like best friend, it's because you're not ready to stay there. You still have growth to do. So what I want to stress here is if your tribe hasn't shown up yet, it just means, girl, you are in for a spectacular, beautiful unfolding of what's to come, because that means if you already had your brand new tribe already, that means all these changes, all this growing, all this new understanding kind of is coming to a point that it gets regulated where you kind of can, like, it's not happening at such a ongoing rate. It kind of goes like this, and then it kind of levels out a little bit more. Well, if your tribe can only find you and get attracted to you and actually stick with you and make regular plans and like have that like true connection where they're like truly your new crew, your new best friends, when you've had enough growth but you've kind of gotten to that point where it's not so drastic, the changes anymore, you're kind of like, this is truly now how your life is, not those initial months, not even that initial year, okay? So your vibe does attract your tribe, but if your vibe, your vibration, your energy, your frequency, your level of consciousness, if it's still changing, it's hard to attract someone that will stick, okay? But when you come to a spot where a lot of your massive shifts have been integrated and the way you're now being and operating is kind of the norm in your life now, that's when you're going to attract those tribe members to you that stick. So rest assured, they're on your way. They are on their way. And if they aren't there yet, even better, that means you get more time in your cocoon to become an even better version of you. And the better version of you, you grow into, honestly, the better women, the better tribe members you get to attract to you. So don't worry about it. They're on their way. They're on your way. And it's all part of the spiritual awakening to learn how to also be okay being alone. And learning and understanding and feeling in your core that not spending time with people as often as you used to doesn't mean you have to feel lonely. Spending time alone, I learned, doesn't have to feel lonely at all. It's grown on me to be something I love and I enjoy. I enjoy the experience of it. And it's so interesting that I needed to learn that lesson because I used to be dependent on, well, I have to have people around or else I'd be lonely. I have to do something on Friday night with people or else I'd feel lonely. Someone had to fill what was lacking within. But when you go into your cocoon, that chrysalis, if that's what it's called, that the caterpillar goes in, you learn that you have everything within you and none of it has to come from an outside source. And when you learn that lesson and you integrate that lesson, that's when you're going to be blessed with starting to attract these new tribe members who get you like no one has ever gotten you before, who love to talk about all the weird things you like to talk about, who you can say, hey, did you hear about this? Or what do you think about that? And they won't bat an eyelash, where if you said that around perhaps your old circle of friends, they would think you need to check into a mental asylum or be like, come on, let's not talk about that. Let's get back to talking about reality TV or the Kardashians, right? You're no longer even going to be interested in celebrities or celebrity gossip. It actually will seem like almost like an insane practice for some society to follow just regular people who have nothing really to offer humanity, right? But I'll be evidence of this. I used to get together with friends and watch Jersey Shore. I don't know if you remember that show. I couldn't even imagine sitting down and watching a show like that now. I've changed. My brain has changed. The way I think has changed. Everything has changed. And the women I'm friends with these days, I cherish them more than I can even express. I love them. I'm inspired by them. I'm so grateful that everything had to unfold, and those lonely days and weeks and months, and maybe even a couple, maybe a couple years, I'm going to say, like a solid year and a half in there before I really started attracting my tribe. So they're on their way. Trust it. Keep doing your thing. You're in the chrysalis. It's going to get really good pretty soon. You're going to turn into a butterfly, and you're going to meet up with all your other butterflies, and life is going to feel magical, okay? I hope this video gives you some reassurance. I hope you have a beautiful day. And it's Good Friday, so happy Easter, everybody.